This was the biggest heartbreak. My dad's getting respect from Kendrick, Snoop Dogg, YG. That's why it was so heartbreaking for him to go back in after all we did. My own little sister don't even understand who I am. So I know the rest of the world don't.
Does that mean that your output is going to slow?
Nah, hell nah. Bro, I got like 4 albums in the chamber right now and I'm making more. Quincy didn't make Thriller till he was 50, bro. I'm 38. I still got time to be my greatest. So let me go show y'all.
What's up, everybody? This is Damien from Boardroom, and today I'm joined by one of the most legendary producers in the game, 3-time Grammy winner, Hit Boy. What's going on, sir?
Sorry, appreciate you having me, man.
At least over the past decade, you've been creating the Paisley Dreams project that you made a big hit, Nas trilogy, or even more than trilogy.
Man, we did 6 albums.
I'm curious to hear from you how you are able to maintain that level of production.
Being excited to just make music, man. Like I really get this opportunity every day to just like, it's up to me. Like if I get in there and I make some heat, like, my career just keeps getting extended, and my knowledge and my understanding of just music in general just like gets expanded the more I do it. And I'd be excited to feel myself get better. I'd be excited to feel that growth. That's like the main thing that I look for, more than money, more than anything. I get inspired just off ideas, and if I can think of something creative and feel like, oh, this is a step above what I was trying to get to before, man, it's like that just make me want to go 10 times harder.
I'm curious how you stay on top of certain sounds and certain types of production. You're able to like do any sound, whether it's like soul samples or synth work, or you can basically do anything. You remind me of like, I think I was telling the team here, you remind me of like the track masters back in the day. But it was like one person, like you can just do anything.
Respect, bro. I mean, that just comes from my love of music. I just love like anything that sound good. You know what I mean? I don't care what genre it is. I don't even do like the genres, and I don't do like the whole none of that. It's like, does this song sound good? How does it make me feel? It's kind of hard to pinpoint where I'm at, and that's like why I feel like only people that's really into music really know who Hit Boy is. Like the average person might not know, you know what I mean? Unless you like stay in the culture. That's what I've experienced. That's what I've seen. Like, I got family members that don't even know certain joints that I've done, you know what I mean? And it's like it's kind of hard to keep up too, because my output is kind of crazy. I just do so much stuff, and it's out of pure love. It's out of pure just like enjoying what I do, and just like, and I just got out of a deal I was in for 18 years, and I was kind of working from a different place. I was working out of the place of paranoia of going back to my old life, being broke again, being on Section 8 again. My dad been in prison most of my life, you know what I mean? Just like dealing with real life stuff. That trauma was on me for my whole career. And now that I'm at this place where I'm out my deal, I can think without the black cloud over me. Like I feel like a new man. I feel like I started my life over. I feel like I just was born again. It sounds crazy though, but it just sound like I'm refreshed, man. It's just like I'm just refreshed, man.
Just get a little bit more into that. You just got out of this deal.
Yeah.
It was like what, like a 15 to 18.
I was in it 18 years, and I didn't even have an end date until
a published deal.
Yeah, it was a publishing deal. I never had an end date to it. Like I could have did as much work as possible. I'm associated with Travis Scott, biggest song ever. Jay-Z first diamond record. I'm associated with Nipsey, biggest song, Racks in the Middle. I'm associated with a lot of people's biggest records, and I still wasn't able to get out this deal. So that mental strain was like, it was messing with me, man. It was deep. It was a lot of times I was like, yo, I'm not progressing through this. I'm making, stuff that's affecting the culture, and I'm still not able to get what I'm due. It was just like kind of disheartening. You know what I mean? It was like, feeling like I wanted to give up so many times, but it's like, I just love what I do, period. It's never been about money. It's been about just being dope and just being creative and making something that genuinely inspires me in the moment.
Can you talk a little bit about how you got into that deal? What was so constricting about the deal? Just so if you're a young person watching this, how do you learn from what you went through?
Signed a deal 1 year out of high school. I was 19.
1 year out of high school.
Yeah, I met Paula the Don on MySpace, and
MySpace was a social media platform.
Yeah, it was IG before.
It was
IG.
the biggest thing in the world.
It was the thing. It was cracking. 05, 06, whatever. I'm just uploading beats, you know what I mean, doing remixes to songs and stuff. And then Polo hit me up. Polo was like a big time producer. Like he was doing all the biggest artists at that time. Like he had #1 hits on the radio with these people. So I was like already mesmerized with his music and the stuff he was doing, the way he was making beats. I was like tripping off of it. But when he hit me up and told me he liked my music and he wanted to help kind of guide me through the game, it just was mind blowing, you know what I mean? And he really kind of, you know, took me under his wing and just like, you know, gave me the opportunity to see his process. You know, we used to go to studios, man. He'll have like 3 rooms. He have like Pussycat Dolls over here. He got Sierra over here. He got Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas over here. He going room to room and just like being the biggest producer in the world. You know, that was mind blowing. I'm seeing this at 18 years old. Then at 19, I signed with him. And basically, you know, it's just ancient terminology, man. The way my deal was set up, and even like down to like, you know, my stuff had to come out on a CD for it to like really count towards my deal.
Oh wow.
And after a while, CDs, most of the kids watching this might not even know what a CD is. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, it just was, I was stuck in that place. I did my first half of my career and I got to learn. I got to go to college without going to college, you know what I mean? And just really hustle and figure out who I am as a man and as a musician. And now it's like I'm applying all of that to where we going forward with it.
If you can go back now and do that over again, what would you do? You would bring what, like a lawyer with you? You'd bring.
I had a lawyer, you know, but the way it just got set up crazy. At the end of the day, I wouldn't change nothing because, like, you know, I'm at this place I'm in right now in life. And, you know, who knows if I would have been in this place 10, 15 years ago, if I would, you know, understand what I understand now and be able to sustain and be able to understand who is really for me.
So how do you move forward now? Like what is your publishing situation going forward?
So I'm a free man and I can go do what I want to do. You know, I still own my percentages of the music I did put out and I can move that around and I can make things work for me. Really just locking in on the business side of everything and understanding how to market myself and understanding like just all these different things, man. Like it's been a process.
Does that mean that your output is going to slow now that you
Oh, hell nah. Fuck nah. Bro, I got like 4 albums in the chamber right now and I'm making more, bro. I'm going harder than I ever win.
But you've always had your own groups. What is your group and movement situation now?
Surf Club, that's like been, I started that at 17 with a couple of my homies, but you know, I really was the one that was like, yo, we got to call ourselves Surf Club and really turn up with this. And so, you know, just pushing that movement. And Spank, man, like he just like his lingo is crazy. Like he just like, he remind me of like a young E40, but even just like a little more lyrical, just like really spitting some real life bars.
There's so much that he doesn't know that you've learned over the years. Like how is it on your end now working with these younger artists and mentoring them?
Man, that's why I just started a foundation. It's called The Next Hits. So it's like if you want to look at it like the next hit boys or the next hit songs, like I'm gonna just be teaching them about the business side, just really giving them the information in a way that they could digest it and really understand it.
And then you have a project with Alchemist coming.
Man, that's the one, bro. That's all the stuff I'm doing. Just been kind of just the setup to the Alch project. The display that we putting on with the album alone is just like a step above what people would expect or understand that we can provide. And then we got a whole movie coming with it. That's just ridiculous. It's
I
just
saw a preview of
it's
it.
an art piece, man.
It's crazy seeing Alch acting.
It's crazy, bro. He fit right in.
So reserved.
He's fit right in. Me too, though. 13, 14, 15-hour days, like filming and waiting around. And it's just like, man, but seeing that product and trusting my gut, trusting my process, seeing that this director, Abteen, was just ill and he understood art, he understood storytelling. Like we just trusted in him and we just like, you know, did our part, he did his part, and it's like, it's looking serious.
So talk a little bit about the project. The movie is leading into the album.
Yeah, I mean it's all one thing. We actually like looking at it as like one big rollout. You know, it's like that's like my solo album software update. It's like what can we do now? Like forget what they've done, forget what's been successful for other people. Like what's gonna work for us? How can we usher in a new wave, which is like putting real films to albums, you know, and making it just like be cohesive and artistic and just respect him. We was working on the album. I saw a video App Teen had done for another artist, and I was like, yo, he used this crazy animatronic in it, and I was like, yo, this dude is super creative, and you know how to tell a story that really hits you. So I had him pull up. Me and Alchemist was there. We was working. We should just do a movie for the whole, for me and Alchemist shit. And basically, I was like, I just want to make sure that we play characters outside of ourselves. Don't make it like a traditional music movie. Like, let's make a real film that like says something, but like, let us do the album just to complement it, and everything complement each other. As a producer and a curator and a artistic person, the older you get, the more refined you get if you really locked in. You know what I mean? And it's like I always say, like, Quincy didn't make Thriller till he was 50, bro. I'm 38. I'm getting up there, but it's like I'm not quite 50 yet. So it's like I still got time. I still got time to be my greatest. Like, that was his greatest. You know what I mean? He didn't get to his greatest till 50 years old. So it's just you just get greater later if you really tapped in and you really love it and you're really doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Are there any producers that you feel right now are like inspiring to you outside of Alk?
What Mustard just did with Kendrick was ill. Being on the Super Bowl, never really seen producers up there like going crazy like that. Just like, that's ill. You know what I mean? I fuck with what Metro is doing, like putting out successful albums like that. Cash Cobain got the crazy New York wave. Yeah, anybody doing their thing, man, it's all respect.
That's one of the most interesting things to me about you is that those guys you just named, you think of them and a sound comes to mind. Like Cash Cobain, you think of like Sexy Drill. With Metro, you there's like a sound, right? With you, so many sounds come to mind. Like if your first blush of Hit Boy was like Niggas in Paris.
Yeah.
If you were to listen to, say, King's Disease 3, you would, there's no way you would
think it's the same
guy.
No, I feel it.
And so I'm just curious, in practice, what does it take for you to actually make these brand new sounds, these brand new aesthetics for each
First
person?
is literally just having fun, to be honest. Just really enjoying what I do. But if I see an artist is coming through and they actually serious and they really want to record, and every time they pull up, even if they just lay 8 bars, I can get super inspired off that, you know what I mean? Versus a person come through, you want to hear 30, 40 beats, but you don't do nothing. Like, I'd rather hear a couple beats and be like, man, let me try something on this one. I might have an 8 bar, I might have a verse, I might have a hook, whatever. Like, let's just get the energy flowing. And, Nas kept coming through and doing that. He kept like laying shit down, and he'll leave sometimes he'll stay and finish a whole song. But he was like committing his energy to the process, and I had to respect that.
I imagine it's a different process than when you sit down to write raps.
Not really, bro. This whole shit fun. Like, when I'm sitting down trying to make a beat, I don't have a like ABC process. Like, I'm literally shit coming from the stars, God, whatever, same thing. I'm just putting sounds together.
Do you feel like you've gotten better as a rapper?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Nah, just like, I just got way just more dialed in. I doing therapy, articulating myself a lot better, man. I just I can just dig deep now.
Let's talk more about how therapy has helped you become a better rapper.
Yeah, shout Melissa Dumas, man. She's a good therapist. And I'm able to get a raw perspective back versus I might not want to hurt his feelings, but now she gonna tell me exactly what it is. Like, telling me that, bro, you didn't have boundaries. You was just too nice of a person. You helped too many people out that didn't deserve the help, or whatever the case may be. I just always had compassion, always had, understanding for, struggles and shit. And I wanted to help everybody, but it just don't work like that. You know what I mean? You could do what you do. You can still be a generous person, but you can't do it so much to where it runs you into the ground.
And mining that it sounds like, has opened up new avenues. Well, like something that you were like, damn, I wouldn't have thought to rap about this if it wasn't for.
Damn, what's something I said recently? Yeah, I did a verse, and I basically talked about my life from July 2024 to July 2025. And I spoke about how, my dad, when he was out of prison, he brought my little sister around, who was 18 at the time. I think she was 17 or 18, going on 18. And, I didn't grow up around her. I didn't really like know her like that, but I embraced her. I brought her around, and, I put real money into my sister in like a 6-7 month span, from hair, nails, makeup, studio time, video shoots, photo shoots, like showing love because I make music and I see that she made music. So I was expressing my love through that. just for her to kind of come back and be like, oh, as a brother, you know, you haven't done nothing for me, or you ain't showed me no love. And it's like, actually, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? And it's like understanding that, like, no matter what you do, if they not in the place to accept that or understand it, they just won't, no matter what, no matter how you lay it out. And just growing from that, you know, that's something that I broke down with my therapist, and I was able to articulate that in a verse. What did I say? I said, when I got to October, I was trying to guide my little sister. I ain't really know her. She wasn't hearing me, and that's when I knew it was over. You know what I mean? Because everything I told her, she kind of went against it. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's all love. But I had to, like, okay, this is causing too much confusion, too much friction. I got love for my little sister, but like, you think you know what you're doing, so go ahead and do it.
Right.
That's why I'm at this software update place, which is the name of my solo album. I'm like, I had to update my software and really show people, like, my own little sister don't even understand who I am. You know what I mean? So I know the rest of the world don't. So let me go show y'all.
You're also really good with names. Software Update's a great name
That's
around.
what's up, man.
That's a strong one.
That's what's up.
Your dad, the albums that you released with him were incredible. What was it like for you to make those albums and to see them embraced in the way that they were embraced?
It was dope, man. That's why it was so heartbreaking for him to go back in after, like, all we did. You know, as much money as he made, as much progress, getting respect from Kendrick, Snoop Dogg, YG, all these people tapping in. You know, I mean, I've been dealing with this 30 plus years. This was the biggest heartbreak, because I was like, damn, like, because he also had a great relationship with my 5-year-old son, you know, who was 3, 4 at the time. Like, you know, just hearing my son running around calling him grandpa, and just like, now my son is filling that same void.
Thinking about how much he means to you and to your son, like, are you planning for when he's back already?
Man, I'm not planning for it, bro. I'm just doing me to the max. You know, he had a plea deal. Niggas say, no, that's the truth, bro. I had a literal plea deal for no jail time, and he told me that I would rather be in prison than outside on probation. And I said, holla at me when you get out, bro. There's nothing else I could do. The money, the going around, this person doing features, albums, none of that shit matter. If you don't feel like you would rather be on the streets under whatever conditions, you rather be in there, then that's what the fuck you want to do. So holla at me when you get out, and it's still all love. But you know what I mean? I've already elevated to a different place, and I'm gonna keep elevating. So when he get out, we'll chop it. We're gonna be good. It's all love. But right now, I'm focused on me.
You feel like you've overshadowed your affiliations in the past. Most people know you, as I said, from your first monster hit was because Niggas in Paris, and you were like associated with Ye and Hove. Feels like now you're standing on your own. People
100
just know the brand of Hit Boy.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's getting there for sure. It's just even walking through New York, man, I was just get like, man, Hit Boy, like, people want to take pictures and shit. Like, I'm like, man, they really understand it, like, who I am on another level. I got to take that serious too. I got to really, like, understand, like, you know, I got to take myself all the way serious and really, like, max out and do this shit on the highest level.
Foundation, these albums, are there other entrepreneurial pursuits that you are focused on?
For sure. I'm moving around in all type of different areas. Like, one thing in particular is, you know, I did an album for the homies Blue Bucks Clan. You know what I mean? They got some hard music, West Coast dudes. You know what I mean? One of the members, DJ, he told me to pull up to Del Mar, the horse racing track. He was like, man, I'm buying horses and I'm doing this and I'm making this type of money and it's this crazy return. And I went and I rocked with him. I really got to really, you know, learn. I met the commissioner. I met, like, the owner of Del Mar, the whole horse race track. And I just bought a horse last week, and I'm probably about to buy 3 more next week. And that's going to turn into 8.
How many do you own?
I own 1 right now, but I'm gonna buy 3 more next week, and I think 2 of them pregnant. So I'm out on like 8 horses. Like,
how do you buy a horse? Like, what do you look for in a horse?
It's the DNA. You buying, like, you know, if the kid or the mom or the dad, whatever, have been, like, you know, winners and open races, like, it's like, you know, it's like buying Michael Jordan mom. You know what I mean? Not when you're buying a female horse, like, you know, for real shit. That's a crazy way to put it. But it's like, you want to buy that DNA where it's like, oh, this kid or her kids or his kids have won all these races. That makes the value go up. But it's Man, they making some real serious bread over there. I'm gonna call it Surf Club Stables.
Got it.
Surf Club Stables, yeah, we already LLC'd up and all that, you know what I mean? We just hopping into it, but
Is it
yeah,
just
we
racing or is it also breeding?
yeah, all that. We hopping into the racing, we hopping into the breeding, and it's like we got some high level breeders. Like some of these guys, they their main horses like could get like 250K for every time they breed.
I did not expect that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So I want to go back to your solo album. Talk to me about the approach for that. How do you make something that is uniquely Hit Boy when you work with damn near everybody?
Man, I had to dig deep, you know, going through the stuff with my sister and my dad and then the BM drama and all the stuff that I dealt with. I just like, you know, let me just give people the real shit, you know what I mean? And just put it in a fly way and just like over cool instrumentals with fresh sounds and
The beats, is it like when Ye was first coming out, you just like stash beats away for this album?
I have made beats and then I rapped on them later, but most of the times while I'm making a beat, I'm coming up with a rhyme, I'm coming up with a hook, or even if it's just one or two lines, I got something that's provoking me to say these lines over this beat. So I pretty much, the beats I make, I snatch them immediately.
One beat I always wanted to talk to you about on KD3, Reminisce.
Yeah, man, that come from my mom, bro. Playing Mary J. Blige, What's the 411? That was off What's the 411,
Yeah.
right? Over and over. She must have been going through a breakup or something, but she used to play that album when it came time to chop that. Like, it really meant something to me. Like, I gotta make my mama proud with this joint, you know what I mean? Like, I know she loved this album, she loved this song.
He performed it at the Garden. It was like crazy.
Brought Mary out,
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, that was fly.
That was a moment. That whole concert was just like a long time coming and just incredible. And it must have been crazy to have it built around work that you made.
Crazy.
And Nas's first Garden show ever, which I think is crazy, was built around your music.
Makes no sense, man, but it makes all the sense.
Looking back on it, can you just describe what is that like winning a Grammy with Nas?
I mean, it's always just like a good little reminder that like the work I put in wasn't in vain, you know what I mean? Like it's being honored and it's being listened to and respected by the people that, you know, I respect, and that's just dope for sure.
If you had to describe the West Coast from when you first came out to now, it was different before that. That was like when, right as the inflection point, Dre was, you know, no longer as dominant.
The story of the West Coast is a lot of different stories in the West Coast. It's a lot of different lineages and just the ways people move. But ultimately, like, man, tempo is like, whether you go back to, you know, funky records, like funky old school gangster shit, to like up to East Siders, up to Kendrick, like it's always tempo that gets it moving. Not like us, GNX, the whole album kind of got a good tempo to it. When you think about Pac getting out doing the All Eyes on Me, like tempo, he started the album off with Ambitious as a Rider, like just straight club gangster, like turned up, and it's, yeah, that's tempo is a big thing for us.
My dude, it's been a long time coming. Hopefully we can reconnect when the albums drop.
Well, shit, I think I'm gonna be back in a couple weeks, man. I'm gonna be back with Alchemist. Let's run it up. Let's go crazy.
Looking to change. Yeah. Stay in your lane.